Yeah, this is the other type of cope. Yep, the Iraq War was famously over when we got Saddam. Me and my buddies fought in a 20-year war because Bush and Obama didn't get done in 4 terms. What Trump just got done in 4 hours. I voted for this.
Venezuela plummeted from one of the richest countries in the Americas to a total pariah state in just a couple of decades. Hyperinflation, starvation, millions fleeing, all because Chavez and Maduro imposed radical socialism, seizing industries and crushing freedom in the warm embrace of collectivism. But today,
damn, they're so triggered about the warm embrace of collectivism line. They all, oh my God, they keep referencing the Zoran warm embrace of collectivism line over and over again. Dude, you can't be this much of an anti-communist, brother. I don't understand. Like, who is this for? The USSR is dissolved. Like, it's 2026. Capitalism is f***ing you. And you're recognizing it to a certain degree. And yet you still are like, you know what's the problem, though? Imagine if this was communism. Like, what is happening?
January 3rd, 2026, justice has finally come. President Trump ordered a precise professional operation. Nicolas Maduro and his wife were arrested by U.S. personnel and are now headed to America to stand trial on serious charges, narco-terrorism, flooding our streets with deadly drugs, and more. No endless war. No unnecessary American bloodshed. A clean arrest of an indicted dictator. Trump could have killed this man in his sleep, but instead, he's giving Maduro a fair trial, something Maduro never granted his opponents who were jailed, tortured, or killed.
I think it's one of the most consistent L's for Venezuela that they didn't do that, actually. Repression of protesters, absolutely. A lot of that took place, especially under Maduro. If we're being real, even under Chavez and even under Maduro as well, they did not properly take care of political dissidents. You had to have seized the entirety of the Chamber of Commerce, the first coup. After the first coup was implemented, you should have taken over every single asset that the Chamber of Commerce in Venezuela owned and put it under the control, the stewardship of the state. And you had to have arrested every single collaborator with the CIA. Major L. Major L for Venezuela, kept consistently suffering from the repercussions.
13.3 says, "For rulers are not a terror to good conduct, but to bad." For far too long, Nicolas Maduro was a terror to good conduct, destroying lives in Venezuela and helping kill hundreds of thousands of Americans through the fentanyl and drugs his regime enabled. Today, a righteous authority stepped in and removed that evil without starting another war. And just as Proverbs...
Donald Trump literally is like, we did it for oil, and also it is a war. This guy's like, no, listen. This is righteous authority. This is righteous indignation. This is Donald Trump not doing a war, but instead, like, what authority, brother? What do you mean? You can't just like decide someone is a criminal and violate all norms and all international law. Like, what the
Verse 29:2 declares, "When the righteous thrive, the people rejoice. When the wicked rule, the people groan." The Venezuelan people groaned for years under wicked rule. Now, go check social media.
Wait, is this I don't even know if this is a real live stream. I think there's an old video. Did this guy go through all the different copies of old videos? All the different copies of old videos to post it?
Everywhere of Venezuelans leaning out of their windows, cheering in the streets, USA, USA, pure rejoicing in the streets, pure rejoicing in their homes, and even among the diaspora. Liberals are melting down, of course, but where was their outrage over hundreds of thousands of Americans who lost their lives to fentanyl from Maduro's regime? Or the millions of Venezuelans.
Fentanyl from Maduro's regime. The government has not even offered an iota of fake evidence even, okay? They didn't even do the WMD shit with fentanyl, okay? They didn't even do that. Like, they just said, yeah, I think they have fentanyl coming from Venezuela, maybe. Like, how can you be so ready to swallow the boot whole and regurgitate talking points that the government is not even fully invested in? By the way, yes, this guy showed an old clip. Posters of President Nicolas Maduro being torn down across Venezuela. This is an old video from 2024. Every right winger in this situation cannot just like rest on the laurels of this action. So they have to actually imagine or invent a liberal that's being owned. Imagine an oppositional figure that's being owned. Okay? That's it. Because they can't just like, because deep down inside, I think they also understand that this is not really going to make their lives better. It's the same reason why when asked, a lot of Trump supporters will openly admit like, yeah, things are not too great about the economy right now, but they're going to get better, right? And that's basically an admission that things are not great right now, okay? You're just admitting it. And I think many people also recognize that. Many right-wingers also recognize that. So they have to just like hold on to anything they can to feel better about themselves. Oh, I've imagined that we've like dominated an enemy. Why do I think this guy's an enemy of mine? I don't know, because someone told me so. They really cut their Somali fraud story short with this kidnapping. I would have waited a month. This is such a clown take. A successful regime change in Venezuela would be amazing for both countries. This is such a clown take. A successful regime change in Iraq would be great for both countries. This is such a clown take. A successful regime change in Libya would be great for both countries. This is such a clown take. Successful regime change in Syria would be great for both countries. This is such a clown take. Successful regime change would be great for both countries in Chile. I love that the comparison is Panama. Japan? Cope harder, my man. This is such a clown take. Successful regime change would be great for both countries in Vietnam. This is such a clown take. Successful change would be great for both countries in Afghanistan. This is such a clown take. Hey, notice how I have a million examples and you said Japan? Notice how I gave you virtually every single example post World War II, and you said Japan. We nuked Japan. We wrote their constitution. And when they were doing too good, we shut off their economy. And it worked. Yes, he used the suicide country that's killing itself with its anti-immigrant policies currently as the example of a country that's doing all right. Also, Japan's leaders stayed the same, like literally the same people. Also, yeah, we didn't even do much change. Also, Panama, the only one that you can point to as a comparison that is like, I guess, successful, was literally a CIA asset to begin with. The only example that you can use is again, not exactly great, but was already a CIA asset. So no, I don't think there are many good examples. I know he's a lib, but I can tell the chat is a lot younger on average because people in here just aren't aware of the historical events of the last few decades. The Franco chat has people who actually remember Iraq, whereas this chat is unaware there's been a precedent set for this sort of nonsense. No, I think it's because we have a lot of hogs. None of your takes matter because the Venezuelan people have spoken. Oh, this is going to be the line, huh? We're just going to have to consistently bring up images of the Saddam statue being toppled over and over again until people kind of understand. It is pretty funny. It's not even the Venezuelan diasporoids, right? But it is funny that the Venezuelan diasporoids who are saying that this is objectively a good thing are basically 5 minutes away from being deported to CCOT. And they're like, no, you don't understand. This is really good, actually. Okay, well, have fun at CCOT, I guess. I don't know. Trump is calling you a rapist drug dealer and a decapitator of children. So, and is using you as a pawn. What makes you think you're safe on U.S. soil with this administration that has not even remotely entertained your humanity?